and we're going to rely on our defense. Because as I said, the Dolphins' defense is #1 in scoring. So they said, you know what? Let's not put this kid in harm's way. It's his first start going up against Aaron Donald, Defensive Player of the Year, 2-time Defensive Player of the Year, and Jalen Ramsey, although he went out with illness, arguably playing some of the best quarterback of his young career. And so for me, Skip, I look at it like this. It's like you tell a guy to write the alphabet, and then you don't like the penmanship, so you downgrade him. Skip, he wasn't asked to do anything. Now, there's going to come a time. Now, if you think they're going to get another punt return and another scoop and score and another opportunity to run the ball back to the 1-yard line, you're sadly mistaken.
I would say.
That doesn't happen often in the ball games.
Rarity.
Tua is going to, they're going to force Tua because they're going to take the run game away. They're going to force him to make throws. And then you can get a better evaluation. Skip, it's hard to evaluate a guy like this when you get a lead. You're up 28-7 at the half. And you said, okay, now we're going to give you an opportunity to show you what you can do throwing the football. No, I'm not putting the ball in harm's way. No, I'm not going to do that. There'll be a better opportunity for you to fully evaluate Tua moving forward. And even if you evaluated him on this game, Skip, they're evaluating Tua. They insert him into the starting lineup to evaluate him over the entirety of the rest of the season. To see what they have. Is he our guy moving forward, or do we need to maybe take a look at another quarterback? Do we need to add pieces around him? Do we need a wide receiver? Do we need an offensive line? What do we need? So one game is not going to give you a proper evaluation of Tua. I like what I saw. He took care of the football for the, Aaron Donald. Like I said, I was shocked that they put him in there against the Rams. Maybe this week, Skip, would have been a better week for him to start. But it's hard for me to evaluate the guy, Skip. I can't tell someone to, hey, do your ABCs and then say, well, you did them correctly, but your penmanship wasn't that good, so I'm going to give you a negative grade.
So I told you yesterday, I'll give him an incomplete. He did throw 10 incompletions.
Yes.
I'll give you a TBD, to be determined.
Right.
Because I didn't know what to make of this. Because I have never seen anything like the self-destruction of a guy called Jared Goff, as in cough it up. 4 big turnovers. These are what I call tumultuous turnovers, where they get returned almost for touchdowns or for touchdowns.
They suck the life out of you.
It's so bad, and they all happen in the first half. It's 28-7 before you can catch your breath on a very hot day in Miami, and Tua's like, really? That's all you need?
That's all he could hope for.
Yeah,
that was the best day he could hope for, Skip.
So I summarized it yesterday by saying it was the luckiest first start of any quarterback in NFL history, because you win going away, completing 12 of 22 for a grand total of 93 yards, and you have a QBR of 25 on a scale of 0 to 100, which is near the bottom for the week. And according to Pro Football Focus, which was much harsher than I am on this one, his accuracy, says Pro Football Focus, was all over the place. He finished 3rd to last in percentage of accurate passes thrown for the week. Okay, small sample size, wrong place, wrong time to even try to draw a bead on who he is.
Right.
But I didn't love what I saw. It's not like he came out and took the game over the way I've seen Justin Herbert take over some games.
Skip, this is where analytics is ruining the game. Skip, did the ball get incomplete? Was the ball completed or not? Did the guy catch it or not? Did the guy make the play or not?
He threw a 3-yard touchdown pass to his best receiver, which was only the 2nd target of the day for Parker.
Skip, and this thing about turnover-worthy.
It was a good throw.
Skip, they turned the thing into turnover-worthy plays. Skip, did the guy turn the ball over, yes or no? That's what we got to stop with this notion. What turnover-worthy plays? I just need to know, did it result in a turnover? Yes or no? Did the guy get it? Yes or no? Look, I look at the game a little differently, Skip. I want to know why they scored, how they scored, okay, what was the formation and all that. But this Skip, the analytics are getting ridiculous, Skip. It really is now.
Okay, so I saw him throw one good pass. It's kind of off his back foot. He's kind of falling backwards, but it's against an all-out blitz.
And that was
it was pass interference. That guy got there early, obviously.
And it was the least separation of any touchdown pass this season.
Well, because it was pass interference. I mean, he's draped all over him.
So that should be worth something. Okay. But like I said, I just think these analytics and turnover-worthy plays and this and tight throw windows. Did the guy catch it?
Okay, so now the Dolphins are on the clock. because if the season ended today, the Dolphins have that Houston pick, which would be 4th overall. They also have their own pick at 16 if the season ended today.
And you got 2 second-rounders.
Okay, and you got what they call draft capital.
You can move up or down.
You could just sit still at 4, and maybe one of those 3 top quarterbacks, obviously, could fall to you, or who knows? If you wanted to use one of your 2s to move up as one place, heck, if you really wanted to shoot the moon, if you fell in love with Trevor Lawrence or Justin Fields, whoever it is, Trey Lance for that matter, if you need to go to 1, you could go to 1. If you gave your 16th overall and 4.
I like Fields. He reminds me a little bit of Kyler Murray.
Me too. Yeah, I agree. I don't
know if he's that kind of. I don't know if he had that kind of quick twitch, but his throwing motions. He's a smallish guy, and come to think about it,
he's bigger than Kyler. Though.
Yeah. Come on.
But every ball that leaves his hand, I'm thinking, well, that was good. You know, like that was on target. That was on target. That was on target.
Most 9-year-olds are bigger than Kyler, but he plays like he's 6'4", 250.
He is put together for a little man.
Yeah. But Skip, I can't. When you get a situation, if Brian Flores could not have scripted a better day for Tua, that we're going to get a scoop and score, a punt return, and somebody's going to return a fumble to the 1.
Okay. So I remind you, there were reports leading up to the draft that the Dolphins finally decided they wanted Joe Burrow over Tua. And that they attempted to trade up to 1. And Cincy was not listening to Cincy's credit. That's the first time they just said, no, we need him. We want him. He's an Ohio kid.
Oh, yeah. Just on that fact alone, Skip.
I got it. But that shows you that Miami wasn't completely sold right away on Tua. And so here we go. And he obviously had a career-threatening injury. He had reportedly 5 surgeries at Alabama. Can he stay healthy? Do you want to just bet the whole ranch in the future on Tua, or would you fall in love with somebody else in the next draft? Well, this is going to be very interesting because this kid is under the gun. He replaced a very popular quarterback in that locker room, and you were rolling with Fitzmagic. And Justin Herbert is breathing down his neck, who was taken 6th overall, 1 spot later, and he's on fire right now.
Skip, they're going to be tied together just like Big Ben, Eli, and Phillip Rivers. Because all those guys were right there. Now, obviously, Phillip was a top 5 pick. Big Ben, I think, went 11th to 13th, something like that. But they're tied together. Eli, Big Ben, and Phillip Rivers. These guys, Joe Burrow, Tua, and Herbert, will be tied together.
They will be.
That's just the way it works.
So I told you before the draft, I do have my doubts about Tua. I think he's a great kid, could be a great leader for your team if he can stay healthy and stand tall. He's about 6 feet tall, taller than Kyler. But I don't think he plays bigger than Kyler.
Well, he's not. Well, clearly he's not as durable. But I think the thing he's going to have to understand, Skip, is that Kyler's like, I'm not trying. Look, I know I'm small. I've been small my whole life. I ain't trying to run no big guys over, and I'm not trying to let them fall on me. And that's what Tua's going to have to do. Throw the ball away. Sometimes you got to know when the journey's over. And too many times in Alabama, he's trying to extend plays, and he's putting himself in harm's way.
Well, I don't envy him because there's a lot of heat on that young man.
From
all angles.
Well, considering that Fitzpatrick was playing so well. And he's very popular in the locker room. What's not to like about it, Skip? You remember, I'm trying to think where he was. Was that in Tampa? He came out there, he had D. Jackson.